Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm super excited to be here and share with you about how deeper signals can accelerate the way that you identify and onboard your talent. So for the next 30 minutes, there's going to be three things that we're going to explore. The first is to explain and identify how deeper signals is different to other assessment tools that are available. We'll be looking at how the deeper signals platform can accelerate the way in which you hire, identify, and onboard your talent. And then we'll take a look at how we can customize the deeper signals platform to measure and report on the skills and capabilities that are most important for your organization. Before we go into those 3 points, I just want to take a step back and set the scene as to why we need to invest more energy and effort into identifying and evaluating candidates as they join our organizations. Well, of course, we're going to have more AI-powered automation. We're going to have AI assistants. We're going to have better predictions. Ultimately, work will shift away from the doing to the coordinating, which is a trend that has been happening over the last 30 to 40 years. In the advent of the internet and hyperconnectivity, more and more of our work relies around coordination and cooperation. And that's going to be true as we move further into the age of AI. And so while there is much debate as to whether AI will replace humans and what do we need to do as organizations, as leaders, as professionals to prepare for the AI age, I firmly believe that the future will remain uniquely human. What does that mean? That means the skills that are unique to what it means to be a human, that is our curiosity, our drive, our emotional intelligence, are going to become the top skills as we have AI doing more of the rote, repetitive, or even technical work. We know that the half-life of technical knowledge is shrinking, and that has been the case. That's being accelerated with the advent of AI. And so what does that mean? It means our ability to learn, our ability to stay adaptive are going to become key attributes that organizations are going to be looking for. And these are things that AI can't replace and ultimately will help organizations continue to move forward, progress, and evolve. Because when we think about it, everything that humans have ever created is the result of our own human ingenuity, and that's going to be the same in the future. It's what's led to AI, and it's going to keep driving the way that we use AI. AI is a tool. It is not something that's going to completely change why we work, but it's going to change how. And that then also means the way in which we staff our organizations becomes a top priority. If we take the fact that it is, our soft skills are going to become more important, it's going to be the way that we coordinate, collaborate, and work together to solve big things, then the way that we foster, shape, and support our culture is going to remain the most important, or become the most important thing. When AI becomes democratized, every organization will have AI at its fingertips, which means it will no longer be the competitive edge. What will be the significant differentiator is how your organization uses AI to innovate, to grow, to create value. So what does that mean? That means staffing your teams, your leadership, your organization with people that are curious, creative, and ultimately highly motivated and able to work together to get big things done and push your organization forward. And so when we think about then what is the future of talent management, talent acquisition, what do we need to hire and select for? 3 priorities. First, it's understanding that we should focus on what doesn't change, and that is people. So we're always going to have new tools and technology that may or may not threaten or create discomfort around our job security, what skills are required, and capabilities, so on and so forth. What we do know is that human motivation, that is our ability to work together, to get ahead, and try to create and innovate, are deeply seated in the human experience and have always been key differentiators for organizational performance. And that's going to be true as we move into the age of AI. That leads to the second point, which is the ability to create and foster cultures that are able to engage these fundamental aspects of humanity are going to become even more provide even more of a competitive edge, it's not going to be AI. AI is going to become the tool. The way in which you use AI to augment your talents is going to what differentiates you. And then finally, AI will only replace us if we let it. I'm sure that many of you are hearing or concerned about the role of people in the workplace. Of course, AI will take up jobs. It will also create new jobs, and it will also create opportunities for us to use AI in a way that augments our drive, our ambition, our curiosity to achieve even bigger things. And so influenced by this, at Deeper Signals, we help companies build AI-ready teams, organizations, and leaders. Using the power of psychology, science, and data, we provide accurate assessments that help organizations identify, onboard, and develop their people so they have the soft skills to thrive and grow in the AI age. To date, we have profiled nearly 500,000 people around the world. We work with some of the world's largest enterprises, alongside a growing group of small to medium-sized businesses, whereby our tools are proving to be the foundation for their talent acquisition strategy. So there's 3 broad applications for Deeper Signals: recruitment and onboarding. So how can we help you make fast and unbiased hiring decisions? And once you've identified those people, how can we get them up to speed and get them to be working to their full potential as soon as possible? Can we use our tools to develop and coach your employees so that they can grow new capabilities, become effective leaders and effective colleagues? And then can we start to bring more data to your succession decisions? And so using our analytics dashboards, we can easily make data available at your fingertips whenever you need it so that you can have a deep understanding around the bench of your organization. When we start to think about what makes Deeper Signals different to other assessment companies, I think there's 3 broad pillars that we should consider. The first is that our approach to assessment is designed around, is designed around speed and user experience. So how can we measure the most psychological attributes in an accurate, fair, and unbiased way, while minimizing the amount of time that your candidates and prospective employees have to spend completing them? We also provide hiring managers and new employees with action plans so that it's very easy to understand what this data that you're collecting from assessments is telling you, how it's relevant for the different roles, but then also how to accelerate the onboarding of that new employee. So can we provide development plans for that new hire? Can we assimilate new managers into their teams? Can we onboard and help managers understand and engage their new hires? And then finally, it's around our platform and our ability to create customized solutions. So we're able to take your competency framework, deeply understand the things that matter most to your business, and then provide reliable and scientific assessment experiences so that you are getting data on the attributes that are most important. Because there are many assessment tools in the market, I imagine many of you get overwhelmed when trying to decide which tool you should be using. So I think there is 4 areas in which you can compare Deeper Signals. The first is science. So not all assessments are grounded in scientific research. Our assessments are built upon empirically validated frameworks, such as the 5-factor model of personality. This has been studied over the last 50 years by thousands of researchers and has been demonstrated to be highly predictive of performance at work. As I mentioned, speed is a critical differentiator. What typically takes 20 minutes or so can just take 5 to 7 minutes. That's because we use machine learning to minimize the number of questions that we need to ask. Price is another big differentiator, especially in today's economy. Our tools, compared to other premium top of market assessments, we are 60% cheaper. And then finally, it's around use cases. You can use Deeper Signals for the full talent assessment or talent management lifecycle. So as people are coming into the organization, we can help you identify talented individuals. We can then onboard them, and then we can develop them all in one place, making a very unified and simplified experience for your organization. So let's take a look at some of the key attributes and features of the Deeper Signals platform and how we're able to help organizations identify the talent quickly. So what you see on my screen is the admin dashboard. This is the space in which hiring managers can go and send invites, view candidates, and explore analytics. So we really optimize for simplicity so that you can spend less time wrangling data, wrangling difficult technology, and get back to doing what you do best. Our platform can be integrated with your ATSs and HRS systems, and we support SSO as well for an easy, seamless integration. If you want to send invites and launch new campaigns for certain roles, it's really, really simple. You just go to invites. This is where you can see and invite everyone to complete an assessment. I just click hit invite, new invite campaign. I'm going to call my campaign a name. So this is my graduate recruitment program. I can then choose which assessments I want to assign to this campaign. So I just want to assess the core values. So I'm more interested in whether a candidate will have a high level of culture fit with my organization. I can then choose which type of report and feedback I would like to provide that candidate or none at all. I can then add some tags. So tags are a way of further organizing your data. I'm going to skip that for now. And then I can now start inviting people. So to do that, again, super simple. We can upload a CSV file. I can create a link that I can share with others, or if you use our API, we can embed with your ATS. So as soon as someone applies, we can automatically send them an assessment. So once we have uploaded our users, I'm just going to switch to another view so you can see what that looks like. This is an example. I can see everyone that has been invited. I can see whether people have not followed or followed their invite. I can see whether they're in progress, and I can see who has been completed, who has completed the assessments. If I need to send follow-ups, I can with just one click. Or if I want to start looking at a candidate's results, there's a few different ways I can do that. The first way is just by clicking on a name. I'm going to get this profile pop up, and then I'm able to look at all the information we've gathered about this candidate. So for example, here I can see their core values data. I can see the user reports, and I can switch to the other assessments that this person may have completed. So for every candidate, you're going to get a full overview of the data, of the skills, the behaviors that we've assessed, alongside the user feedback report that they would have seen. And then you get also access to a coaching or a hiring report, whereby we provide more interpretive feedback about a candidate's talents. You can get interview questions to ask this candidate in their interview, and you also get some tips and ideas around how to best manage and engage this employee. This information is helpful not only in the recruitment stage, but also when we start to think about onboarding. What information could we provide to the manager so that they're able to best understand, work with, and collaborate with this new hire? But let's say you want to apply a more data-driven approach to narrowing your funnel of your candidates. If I go to the analytics screen, this is where I'm going to be able to view and visualize all the data that I've collected. If I go to compare, I can search for a particular candidate. So I'm going to search for myself. Let's see, I'm going to choose Kylie. And then I'm going to choose their team that I'm assessing them against. So I want to see whether Kylie is going to be a good fit for the marketing team. I can hit compare. And then on the left, I get to see the candidate's profile. And on the right, I can see the team profile. So here I can see that Kylie's going to be a great fit because both this person and the marketing team speak in a very candid, straightforward way. They're also very pragmatic. So they're going to communicate and solve problems in a similar fashion. What you also see, however, that Kylie is very stable, whereas her team or potential team is very passionate. So the way that they use emotions is going to be very different. A team are going to be a team that's very sensitive to risk, things going wrong, feeling things quite deeply, maybe a little anxious. Given Kylie's high level of stability, she's going to be more of a soothing influence on this team. So what we're seeing is some complementary talents alongside some great fit and more of what is most unique about this team. Let's say we want to go one step further, we can create benchmarks and filters. So here, for example, I can see everyone in my organization that has completed the assessment, including scores on different competency dimensions. So these can be customized for your organization. And I'll talk a little bit about how we go about creating these custom scores in a second. But what we can do is say, you can query the data and find everyone that meets certain thresholds. So if you want to do some job profile analysis where you say, okay, I want to find everyone that meets my engineering role because they score high on delivering results, having an entrepreneurial mindset, so on and so forth, you're able to do that to narrow your funnel, further identifying the handful of candidates in an empirical way that meet the profiles of your team. So that's kind of a very quick look at how we can invite candidates, look at their profiles, and then start to evaluate them against certain roles. What we're also able to do is talk about onboarding. So I hinted a little bit about that when we was looking at the coaching report. But one thing that we know is about 50% of new hires struggle to perform in their role because they don't have enough training or insight into how they can be successful. What we're able to do is use a tool called Dynamo, whereby within the first 30, 60, and 90 days, give each employee or each new candidate or new team member a personalized development plan that's going to be enabling them to grow and develop kind of key gaps and capabilities. So based on the core drivers, our personality assessment, we can see that, or as a candidate, I'm very flexible, so I struggle to be planned for and organized. So for the next 30 days, I can deliver personalized coaching content and activities for this person to practice. Here, for example, is some advice around how I can become more organized. And each week, I'm going to get new things to practice. I can mark this as complete and then move on to the next goal. So we're not only using that assessment data to improve your decision-making, but we're also using it for the candidate to help them be successful in that role. So how do we then start customizing our assessment tools? Well, there's 3 steps that we take. The first is we will work with you to identify the talents that are going to drive your organization forward. We position ourselves as talent partners, not just providers of tools, where we want to work alongside you to understand what is most important for your organization and to tie that talent strategy back to the assessment tools. Once we've done that, we'll then start to build, test, and validate fair and predictive talent algorithms that are going to be customized to your business. So that way you can be certain that the insights you're going to receive and the decisions you're going to make using our tools are going to be compliant with the EEOC and also be highly predictive of on-the-job success. Once we've done that, which can take just 2 weeks, is we then start working with your HR teams and hiring managers to get them upskilled on our platform and being able to effortlessly and deeply understand and interpret the assessment results. And then finally, we're ready to deploy the technology. This is where we can integrate with your ATS so that everything can be done seamlessly, whereby you can start using the tools to assess your candidates, view those reports, and so on. This entire process is designed to be straightforward, self-directed, and empowering, and it can be done in days rather than weeks compared to traditional approaches. Just as a success story, we have been working with New Zealand's largest supplier of electricity, and we worked through those exact steps that I just shared. They were looking for a talent framework that was going to describe the attributes and talents that drive their organization forward. So we worked with them to identify that strategy, to build those profiles and build those competencies. We then developed custom algorithms and analytics dashboards and feedback reports. We trained up their staff, and now they're using the assessment to decrease the amount of time it takes to identify talent, providing feedback to their candidates, improving the employee brand and candidate experience, and then using the feedback reports to accelerate their onboarding. So that's a very quick look at the Deeper Signals platform. We are designed to be quick, scientific, and practical. we can launch within your organization as soon as possible. And we're able to help your organization get prepared for the AI age by focusing on the soft skills that truly matter, that shape the way teams operate, and ultimately shape the leadership behaviors that unlock performance and engagement. If you want to get started using Deeper Signals, it's straightforward. You can sign up on our website for a free trial that's going to give you access to one of our standard accounts. You can start sending invites and exploring our tools. You can then choose an enterprise plan that fits your budget. Our pricing is designed to scale and can be customized based on your needs and requirements. And then we'll start working with you on the integration, the adaptations of our assessments to measure your competencies, and begin to train your managers. So thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I look forward to talking with you all soon. Thank you.